Welcome to one of the most important videos you might ever watch. That's Building Your Success Path, Lesson 5, Setting Your First SMART Goal. Have you ever thought about what your goal is? Is it something like this? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right? Sounds fun, but is it smart? So what is a SMART goal anyway? It's strategic, that's the S stands for. M, that's measurable. A, that's attainable. R, that's relevant. And T, that's time bound. We'll talk about each of these in just a second. So what is a SMART goal? Well, again, that S is strategic. It's a focused goal that is connected to your career. M, that's measurable. There should be milestones or metrics to see if you are actually close to hitting those goals. Attainable for A, it can't be impossible. Like there are certain things that are legitimately impossible. Like I want to go live in outer space. Right now, that is impossible. 20 years from now, maybe, but that's not a SMART goal. Relevant, it should be based on what you want and how you want it. And then time bound. So it should be able to be done in the next 12 to 18 months. So again, when I say attainable, like I want to make $1 million from my music in a year. It's probably not that attainable. So I probably wouldn't shoot for that as a SMART goal. And just remember, any shorter amount of time leads to disappointment, meaning like if you try to do something in 3 months instead of 12 months, it might just disappoint you and then you'll feel frustrated that you couldn't get it done. And any longer amount of time leads to procrastination. So here's an example of a SMART goal. I want to deliver $5,000 in income per month so I can leave my soulless job and achieve my dream of traveling the country and world while playing music with my bandmates and other cool bands along the way. To do this, I will need to generate $20,000 in profit per month for my band as I take 25% cut for myself. As a simplistic rule, we make about 50% of profit on our revenue. Therefore, the band will need to generate $40,000 per month in revenue in order to achieve this goal. I want to achieve this goal by July 31st, 2024. Nelson Mandela says it always seems impossible until it's done. So there you go. Breaking down your SMART goal. So let's break it down because it always seems really, really hard, right? So first you have to understand who is going to do the work. It's likely you and or you and your band, right? Then number 2, set your monthly income needs at current. It might not be as much as you think. For example, if you're in a band that lives in one house as opposed to 4 separate houses, that should save immensely on expenses. So, if you're spending each $1,500 a month in rent, and then that's, $6,000 that you have to come up with as a band. If you all lived in one house that maybe, had $3,000 in rent, you save $3,000 and you can actually put that back towards, paying yourselves, right? So then set your monthly revenue goal. For now, let's assume an operation of 50% profit if you aren't signed to a record label. You still have expenses like ads, gas, and inventory. But overall, maybe you should be able to get a 50% profit because a lot of your stuff could come from digital, right? So you don't even have, cost involved in that. Add your why into the statement. What will the money allow you to do? So remember when we wrote out that why? And then you're going to set a deadline. It should be about 12 to 18 months from now. So the harder it is, maybe you make it 15 months instead of 12, or if it's seemingly you're kind of getting there, maybe you could make it 9 months, but I'd really probably try to stretch that goal a little bit further and make it a 12-month goal. So if you think you're on track to do it and you think you can do it in 9 months, well, stretch the goal a bit further and make it a 12-month goal, if that makes sense. The strategic part is to leave the soulless job and achieve the dream of traveling the country around the world. Essentially, that's you doing it, right? While playing music with my bandmates and other cool bands along the way. So that's the strategic part. That's you trying to deliver that. The measurable part is deliver $5,000 in income per month. And then it breaks it all down of how you're going to do that. So $20,000 in profit overall as a band, $40,000 in revenue overall as a band, and you're taking 25% cut of the profit. Attainable is essentially that whole thing. It has to be attainable. This is not impossible. This is something you can work to achieve, right? It might be difficult, but it's not impossible. And then relevant. So this is what you want to do, right? Playing music with bandmates and other cool bands along the way. It's relevant to you because that's what you're trying to achieve. And then the time-bound part is that deadline at the end that says, I want to achieve this goal by July 31st, 2024. So hopefully that breaks it down to where you can see each piece and how it's delivered throughout the SMART goal. And then just some other things to further understand your SMART goal. How much time do you have per day to work on your music career? You can't achieve big goals quickly if you only have 1 hour a week to work on them. So if you can dedicate an hour per day, you're more likely to advance faster. If you can only do an hour or two a week, you're going to do it slower. So just keep that in mind. How much energy do you have to put into your music career? What enablers do you have to help support your music career? Other bands, fan base, etc. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And then what prohibitors do you have that are stopping you from moving your music career forward? Job, kids, wife, etc. Now, I'm not saying to abandon your family or immediately quit your job. Manage your inhibitors, leverage your enablers. The idea is you have to schedule your time better to manage your inhibitors. Find people who can help you achieve your goals faster or your tasks faster, right? Or split up responsibilities within a band to suit each person's abilities best, because there's no sense in you trying to do something that you're not good at when somebody else that you know can do it and do it well and do it much faster, right? If something is a blocker or barricade to you moving the music forward, find a way to overcome the challenge. Usually that means find somebody else who can do it. That's the easiest way to do it. Get somebody involved that knows what they're doing. Sometimes this does unfortunately mean that a band member will need to be replaced. It happens even with close bands. This should not mean you get a divorce, breakup, or leave your home life in shambles, though. We're not talking about throwing in your entire life away. We're talking about managing it, right? Manage everything that you're doing. Otherwise, everybody around you is going to be angry because you're trying to take time to do something for yourself, and you leave them out unless you tell them, hey, this is what I'm doing it for, and this is how much time I need. So that's why you schedule it all out. That's why it's called work-life balance. And that's the key to actually doing this and doing it in a way that's fun, actually creates happiness and creates success for yourself. So there's 6 easy ways to improve your work-life balance. Number 1, donate your time, expertise, or finances. That makes you feel good, right? Number 2, over there in the top right, find a mentor to provide advice and insight. That's kind of what you're doing right now. You're basically trying to shortcut everything that you're trying to do to learn, and you're just packing it into a training program essentially. And then over there on the side, it says plan your vacation and days off in advance. I would say actually plan your days that you're going to work on something as well, right? So everything that you want to do, you want to plan it so that way everything's got its own allotted time. And then it says prioritize your top tasks and do them first. That is 100% a key to success. If you do your top tasks, the things that are most important today, first in your day, you will start to see massive increase in your progress. And then it also says take time to rest both mentally and physically, 100%. Do not think that you can just do this 24 hours a day and just keep burning yourself out, because otherwise, if you do that, you're not going to actually make it. You're going to just die, right? You're going to burn yourself completely out, or you're going to get sick of doing it because it's not going to be fun, right? So you have to have that work-life balance. And then number 6, add exercise as a part of your daily routine. This does increase your energy throughout the day. So potentially and ideally, it should increase your work-life balance, the happiness factor of doing work, right? Oh, and all of those naysayers who tell you that you can't be a rock star or can't make it as a musician, well, this is for them, right? Keep calm and fuck all the haters. Excuse my language, but that's the truth. Anyone who tells you you can't do what you want to do and be a successful musician is just telling you that so that way you won't go out and try hard at something that you want to do. So for now, let's take some more action. Create your SMART goal using the worksheet provided. Don't skip the step because it's the framework of your entire success plan. If you don't do this and you haven't done the other steps before that, do them all. Again, there's no filler videos here. Do them all because it's the framework for your entire success plan. And start to work out a schedule for tasks so that you can manage your inhibitors.